One of my favorite scriptures, and one I seem to call on regularly, comes from the book of Joel, chapter 2, and says, "I will restore what the locusts have eaten." There have been many times in my life where God has shown me personally that He is greater than anything the enemy can throw at me. One of the most significant times was when 80% of our home was underwater as a result of Hurricane Lee. In this flood, we lost most of our material possessions: furniture, appliances, floors, walls, and worst of all, our bed. What we didn't lose was either broken or covered in mud. Every item of clothing, shoes, dishes, linens, and the list goes on. For a brief time, it felt like a devastating loss. How would we ever recover? How much money and manpower would it take to come back from this? Where do we even begin? It definitely felt like an enormous mountain in front of us. We cried out to God in our confusion and fear, and He answered in ways we could never have anticipated. First and foremost, by our beloved family and church family, many of whom worked tirelessly to help with the cleanup and the reconstruction. Then there were gifts of money or needed items, from an electric frying pan to a washer and dryer, a dumpster, a crew from another church that came and took away the heap of debris off of our property, unexpected deals on things we needed to purchase, a friend whose company made it their mission to provide a kitchen and bathroom, and FEMA turned out to be a great help as well. I have a very lengthy list of the ways that God restored what the locusts had eaten. Almost everything was replaced by something of higher quality, so that in the end, our home was way better than before the flood. We were truly overwhelmed by God's goodness, much of which came through many of you. At the time of the flood, we were only 2 years into the planting of this church. It was easy to see that the enemy wanted to discourage us and even prevent us from continuing. But God lifted our heads in the midst of this unexpected disaster and provided everything that we needed and more. He proved His love, and He proved that He keeps His promises. He truly restored what the locusts had eaten, and we have seen Him do that repeatedly in our lives. I share this with you today to encourage your hearts, to continue to trust that no matter how it looks or what loss you've suffered, what events you have missed, He is faithful to His promises. So keep your eyes on Him. Keep your praise directed toward Him. Keep following His lead and listening to His voice, and you too will see Him restore what the locusts have eaten in your life. I encourage you to keep your hearts turned toward Him, our good and loving Father. He does see and He does restore. And be confident that He is in the process of restoring what the locusts have eaten in your lives.